Good morning, everybody. I wanted to come through with another video here because this is going to be a topic that is going to resonate with a lot of people. And it's the topic of you're better than most people if you have this trait. Well, what trait is that? It's simply a matter of knowing your place. If you know your place in this life, if you know your place with other people, things are going to work out a lot better for you because you're going to actually understand that you're not the center of the universe, but you are the center of your world. And this is not necessarily to say that you need to think of yourself all the time, or you need to think less of yourself. It's just you need to think of yourself less. Okay. Now, what exactly is the difference here? Well, a lot of the times people don't understand the value of being able to actually give. And one of the reasons why I give so much is because I know that it's going to attract the right kinds of people for my business, in life in general, etc. If you want love, if you want power, if you want influence, you've got to learn how to give that kind of stuff away. You got to learn how to give and receive. If you cannot receive, you cannot give. If you're constantly giving and you cannot receive, then it's not going to work out. You're just going to be giving yourself away. Now, I'm not saying don't know what you're worth, okay? Absolutely know what you're worth. Absolutely have the understanding that you're going to go out and get what you're worth. If you know your worth, then you have to go out and get it. And that's one of the reasons why I do these kinds of videos. I do this kind of content on X and Instagram, etc., YouTube. I do this kind of stuff because I know that there's something in me that is yearning to express itself, and social media is the best way to do that. And I know that I'm better than most people. In fact, my mindset is that I'm the best around. I'm the coolest person I know. I really am. That's my mindset. And it's because of this mindset that I've been able to have the kinds of opportunities in this life that I do have and that I have had. And I've only had this mindset for, I would say, maybe 4 years, approaching 4 years now, but maybe five. But I was a bit delusional and pathological in the first part of those years, the first year or two, because I wasn't actually grounded in God. I wasn't actually grounded in Christ. And when you can humble yourself before God, again, things get a lot easier. But if you can especially understand that your place in the world, if you have the mindset of, yeah, I'm going to be better than most people, I am better than most people, I'm going to be as ruthless as possible when it comes to the competition because I know everybody wants me out of the game because I'm kicking everybody's butt. Yeah, that's a good sign that you need to take those opportunities and actually play the game of life. This game is so fun. It's hard, it's difficult, but it's so worth it, and you're worth it. But you have to understand your place. You have to be willing to humble yourself. You have to be willing to acknowledge your weaknesses. But I mean, I wouldn't go around telling everybody what your weaknesses are unless you can actually own it. If you can actually own your weakness, then nobody can really take advantage of you. And that's part of David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. His book, Can't Hurt Me. That's his whole point right there, is if you can just be okay with whatever you're vulnerable with, then nobody can hurt you. Because vulnerability is, every man who is matured understands that vulnerability is actually a good sign that you are a healthy, strong, vibrant, virile, gracious, vigorous man. Because you understand that even though it would suck to have your heart hurt, it's better to have your heart open than to have the possibility of being hurt than it is to be like a solid grain of rock around your heart where nobody can get in and you can't even understand yourself or accept yourself. Because accepting yourself is the hardest thing you're going to be able to do in this life. I've got more to say about this topic, but I'm going to hit the gym and I'm gonna get started there. All right, I got some meals in, I've got a shower, I'm good to go. I got some more work done, and now I'm back to making this video on this topic. And I've been thinking about and pondering more about this topic, and I've reached the conclusion that we are ready for the world. If we're ready to be better, and if we want to be better, we're ready for the world, but the world isn't ready for us. It's like you can have all the ambition and drive in the world, and you want to do certain things, and you want to bring along certain people to the top with you because you want to see people succeed. But then you realize that the same people that some of the same people that you wanted to bring to the top with you, those same people never wanted to see you reach the top to begin with. They never wanted to see you go above and beyond to begin with. They thought you'd fail. They were banking on you failing. They were banking on you not sticking to your word. They were banking on you ensuring that you're not going to actually do what you're saying you're going to do, and they're going to try to distract you. They're going to try to put little obstacles in your way. It's just ridiculous the kinds of lengths that people will go to sabotage you simply because their envy turns into hate. That's what's so crazy. And you know, the same people that I've seen do this kind of stuff are the same people that are the most miserable with their lives. Everything might look good on the outside. They might have a lot, but they don't have soul. They don't know how to have depth in themselves. They don't even know who they really are. And what I determined from a long time ago, and I asked this question to myself a long time ago, but I was never able to answer it fully until a few years ago. Because there was once a time where when I was 18 and I was going through a lot of different things, and I was never really going to go through with this, but there was one point where I was suicidal, all right? And this is a serious topic, but I want to make sure that people understand what I'm actually saying here, because in those times where I was reaching out to a therapist and whatnot, and I went to the therapist a few times, and I soon realized this person doesn't even know themselves. This person doesn't even know what they're about. How am I supposed to get help from somebody when I don't think they even understand who they are? And I never told this person this therapist. I never said this to them. But it was almost like I could tell within the first session or two, this person doesn't even accept who they are. How am I supposed to learn from a person that doesn't even accept themselves? And this is what also makes you better. When you know your place, you can accept who you are. Those two combinations will open so many doorways for you. Okay? And I don't necessarily want to encourage people to go to therapy necessarily, but I don't want to encourage people to not go to therapy either. Because a lot of the consultations that I do has been very therapeutic for a lot of different kinds of people. The one-on-one consultations that I do, very, very therapeutic in some instances, in some cases. But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm only going to be about therapy in these things. We talk about really whatever the person needs or wants to talk about. I try to meet the person where they're at. And a lot of the times what I see happening is the people that want to be better but don't know how, they're willing to listen. They're willing to see that they have flaws. They're willing to see that they have little holes in their being that could obviously be filled with something more fulfilling. And it's the arrogant and entitled people that want to continue to blame others for their own problems. I cannot tell you how many times I've had people tell me that, like, oh, I'm this because I said this about that. Like, I'm not gonna think about anything too deeply here, but or say anything too deep on this, but you guys get the point. I'm sure you guys have experienced where people will try to berate you because of something that they misunderstood that you said. And when you didn't mean it like that, well, they're going to take it the wrong way. And some of these people are inclined to do so because they don't want to understand you. Some of these people are determined to misunderstand you. And the better you become as a person, as a person, the better you become, the more of these kinds of entitled people want to ask you for a handout. That's what's so crazy. They all want the quick fix, the progress all up front. They don't want to actually put in the work. They don't understand that it's going to take many months, perhaps, or even years to get to certain points. I didn't just get here where I'm at overnight. I had to go through a bunch of crazy scenarios throughout the entirety of my life in order to fully understand and digest and have the wisdom that I do today regarding these kinds of topics and regarding this kind of situation. People are so vain. People's vanity and their egos and their disinterest in really wanting to determine the truth about the situation that they're in is the biggest thing that stands in their way. It is the biggest hurdle that stands in these people's ways, because they want to believe that they know everything, and yet they're depressed or they're anxious or they're not where they want to be in life. But they also don't want to accept that they might be wrong. They might have a wrong viewpoint. And I'm not saying that I know everything or that I'm this whatever, but again, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I know my place. I know my place. I know that I'm better in my mindset than most people, generally speaking, and I have the results to do so and to think this way. So take that for what it is and move along. This is so crazy about what people are going through nowadays. A lot of the people that have a lot of issues want to blame you for not being where they think they should be at. But they don't want to put in the work anyway. This is why we're better. And this is why you're better if you have a mindset of being humble enough before God and knowing your place. If you can be humble before God, you can have humility, and you can understand that knowledge and insight is going to be your best friend and the most resourceful tool in your spiritual journey, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. So many other people want to believe that they don't have to do this work. They don't have to have the ambition, have the drive. They don't want to. And then they get mad at you for having that drive and ambition. That's what's so crazy. And it reminds me of people like Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, and I'm not necessarily saying I'm comparing myself to Kobe, okay? But because I'm sure somebody will try to screw up that somewhere. But Kobe Bryant was one of the most dedicated, highly ambitious, highly driven individuals that probably ever existed. And he was among the greatest athletes ever. And it's not just because of his accolades or anything like that. It wasn't just because he was a five-time NBA champion, even though that's obviously something that not very many people have done. But his mindset was legendary and remains legendary to this day. He even had a mentality named after him, the Mamba mentality. So this is something that people didn't like Kobe Bryant because of his drive, because of his ambition, because of his ruthlessness. They didn't like how he was. I remember when I was in middle school and high school, people hated Kobe Bryant. People hated them. And he didn't really have anything to hate about him necessarily. Like, yeah, did he have a weird situation going on in his personal life? Probably, absolutely. But, everybody has their mistakes. I'm not justifying his mistakes. I'm just saying that what he achieved was something that very few other human beings will ever be able to achieve. And the kind of people like Kobe Bryant who get the hate that they do, obviously rest in peace, Kobe, but he is still continuing to influence people. That's how strong his spirit is. Okay, that's how much he really drove home the mentality that he had. It is making a ricochet across time. And I have a feeling that it will always be that way to some degree. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, but he didn't ever really do it for anybody else. He did it because he wanted to get better himself. He wanted to be the best that he could be, and he wanted to be ruthless in destroying the opposition. Have you ever noticed like people like Mike Tyson or Kobe Bryant or like David Goggins as well? These kinds of people, they want to completely destroy the competition. They want to completely pummel the competition into oblivion. And that is not necessarily competition outside of themselves. It always first comes from the competition within themselves, because the devil is going to try to make you do certain things that are going to hinder your opportunities and your ability to grow further and grow closer to God and just grow in general. All right, so if you really want to be better, you have to have a humble mindset, be determined, and stop taking no for an answer from yourself. Okay, it's okay to take no from an answer from other people, that's fine. In fact, if you can't take no for an answer, that's probably an issue. But if you know you're supposed to be doing something and you're not doing it, and you say to yourself, oh, well, I don't need to do this really. You know, I could sit back and I could just scroll through Facebook, or I can look at corn, or I can just, I have 10 or 15 minutes, I can just jack off a little bit. Like this, do you think that's the kind of mindset of a winner? Do you think that's the kind of mindset of somebody wanting to be better? Really? Absolutely not. Okay? So I'm just coming through with this video. Hopefully that it will inspire you to make some better decisions, more healthy decisions, and incorporate a better mindset into yourself. Reprogram those thought algorithms. All right? If you do want to join a community of godly people where we are growing in mind, body, and soul each and every day, we have the Regal Change Academy. So the Regal Change Academy, we have the paid community and the Discord channel, which is free. The paid community, we have weekly Bible study calls, weekly Maps of the Psyche classes that you can attend as well. We have a weekly Regal Assembly call where we talk about a variety of different topics and subjects. And right now we are doing the Legends of Stoicism class series, which is a limited time available class. And we also have other classes such as the Godlike Savage class or Entrepreneurial Minds, Nexus Attraction, all these other different kinds of classes, something for everybody in there that you can take on your own time whenever you'd like. It's only $20 a month right now. And, you know, people have told me that that's too much. Okay, well, if you don't have $20 to take a chance on yourself, then yeah, I definitely can't help you. I absolutely cannot help you. And I'm not saying that this is going to be the end all be all of classes or courses or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. These are building blocks for you where I can pour my spirit into you and that you can take what I've learned or what I've learned and apply it to your own life. So yeah, this is another thing that's been happening recently. The kinds of emails or DMs that you'll get in Instagram are crazy. I mean, people are just looking for excuses. They really are. It's kind of pathetic. I don't like saying that term. I don't like using that term, but I'm not saying that these people are pathetic. I'm just saying that the behaviors they're exhibiting are. And in the free Discord channel, though, if you're not sure you want to make that next step, we do have an ebook available in the free Discord channel, as well as a meditation guide, fitness guides, etc. These are all going to be links in the description box below, so feel free to check that out. And then also, I want to appreciate everybody moving from the YouTube platform over to X, Rumble, and Instagram recently. I do appreciate your guys' extra support. And with all that being said, peace be with you all. Until next time.